Hey guys, how are you this fine Wednesday evening, late night, whatever it is? I'm sure a lot of you have some odd time zones out there in relation to the streaming, but I'm glad that all of you are able to come by. Sam Hain, I am secretly your mother. Salvatore, Jolter no. I already said hello to you. Pickle Knight, how you doing? And Exeter and Weeby Narwhal. How y'all doing? Hollow Knight, Kevden, great to see you guys. And Eagle Angel, how you doing? So yes, tonight we are back to Lumiere yet again. And we'll be talking about some things, I'm sure, and getting some little bit of things laid out for here in the future. Before I actually get started, I'm going to show you guys what we're doing so you can get caught up with what the goings-on of Lumiere are. Let me make sure we are not at 60 FPS right now. Oh, it's because we have MOP on, of course. There we go. Well, that's still not 60 FPS. Maybe it's because I have 16 view distance on. I just don't understand. Like, I got this really nice graphics card, supposedly really nice graphics card, and I'm getting 45 FPS right now with Zeus renewed shaders. It's so annoying. Now this is Wreaths, and now this is 60 FPS. Looking out off the plot, it's 83. Anyways. Just got here on time. Yes, you did. Let's catch your streams. Hey, Rowdy. How you doing? Fruitcake, welcome. You like this world? Yes. Well, it's been our world for quite a while now. Is the color of Wreaths good for you guys? Or you guys don't like this? But it's 60 FPS. The only thing that doesn't look all that nice in this shader is the water. Not a huge fan of that issue, but that's okay. At least we can see fairly well. Well, I mean, I got a 8700K 8700K CPU. It's a 12 times Intel Core Ice. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see that actually. 3.7 gigahertz. Should I try overclocking my CPU? Could that make a difference? I don't know anything about overclocking. I prefer not to because it could cause problems, as it did my graphics card. It like crashed my graphics card on my other computer when I overclocked it one time. So ever since then, I just didn't like the idea of overclocking. What kind of details would I recommend for riverbanks? Well, there's different types of riverbanks that you can do. But for this riverbank, as you can see, it's dug into the ground and it's kind of like a hilly type of thing. I actually haven't finished along the river, or creek, sorry, the creek bank. But there are a few details around that kind of stand out, like, you know, fallen branches. I'm going to be doing more of that eventually, just like a bunch of random things along the sides, just to make it look a little bit more natural. You can have duck nests. I have a duck nest somewhere around here. It might be down this way, actually. Yeah, there it is. A little duck nest there, and then a duck sitting right next to it. You got like a little bit on the inside curve of a river or a creek bend. You'd have a little bit of a marshy area. Little like places where animals would live. Like here's a little place where some muskrats live in there. We do not have to see the river today, so it does not matter how to see it. Yes. How many hours of live today? Well, I got about, let's say, about 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long I'm feeling motivated to build. I think the water looks alright from a little distance. Alright, Secret Tribe collecting can indeed cause problems. How many hours alive today? Ritter Maboose, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, I suppose we should get right into building today, because that is what we're here to do. I say that every time. Okay, we are good there. That's good. So, some updates as to what's going on with Dukan. So I am planning on doing more review videos on Darwin, showcasing people's builds and things. It seems like there was a pretty positive reaction to that when I made that video, and I would like to make more. So, all in good time. Hopefully I'll be able to produce some more. In fact, I'm in the middle of producing another one right now. And hopefully it'll be a really interesting one. I'm trying to make it a different style than what we're used to. It's going to be a big difference from the normal review video. I hope that it's a positive reaction to it, though, because I am putting a good bit of work into it to try to make it unique. See what happens. We will see what happens, I suppose. I think I'm going to actually dig that away a little bit, do something like that. Is this part of the Atheries? No, this is not. This is just me building on single player. I know it looks like a plot world. It's because it was downloaded from a server when there was issues occurring on the server, and I wanted to take my build off because I did not feel I couldn't record on the server. Actually, there was some weird bug that was causing the replay mod not to record. Anyways, long story short, it's in single player. Hey Pirate Lord, how you doing? In VipVap, great to see you. Why don't I have a subscribe button? The reason for that is that I don't really want to provide my information to Twitch. Not a big fan of putting all my information on a place that's known for being hacked, known for gamers and people that are hackers and whatnot. Anyways, I just don't like the idea of doing that. I don't know, I just feel rather unsafe doing that. But another reason is I don't really know the reason why I would do that. I'm here for the enjoyment of building with you guys. It's a hobby for me. So there's really no reason for me to put people down $5 a month for whatever. Where are you in the plot right now? I'm on the corner, on the back side of the Lumiere. We're working on some ruins. Oh man, I've been having some major nasal issues lately. My nose is killing me. Alright, so I want to try to grow a tree right here that's kind of like growing into the wall. I kind of like the idea of doing maybe something like this. Just another one of these trees that's kind of growing like this, and then like grow it into the wall here. Make sure it has nice roots, and then just do something like that there as well, and then do something like that as well. Pollen yeah, I suppose. I'm always allergic. I think the reason is my work. I work around a lot of sawdust, and I'm basically breathing sawdust 10 hours a day, and it's not very good on the nasal passages, if you know what I mean. Oh, goodness. But, yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, what's the plan today? We're working on the ruins over here. We're going to be doing some neat details and things as well. Like, we'll be doing some, you know, caved-in underground bits. Possibly some neat little details. Like, there's going to be a knight's camp up here. I'm not sure how I'm going to make that all work. I think what I'll do is make, like, scaffolding here. So it looks like there's, like, this is all kind of, like, roughly scaffolded. And then maybe a canvas roof to represent that this is, like, you know, it's a building that's being used again. Not for like any official purpose, but for just so that they can have a place to live for a while. Some kinds of sawdust actually cause cancer. Oh, well, I'm sure that I'm gonna get cancer then. That's not funny. But anyways, yeah, it's just the way it is. Our recycler system doesn't really work. Honestly, I don't even know why, but the dust collection system, it's what we call the export, the outtake. The intake obviously is inside the building, and the outtake is inside the building too. And whenever the bags for the dust collector are kind of like, maybe there's a little rip in them or something like that, or maybe they're bumped up a little bit, a lot of dust can make it through those bags, and then it blows throughout the whole facility. And it's quite annoying to breathe that in all day long. Yeah, there's really nothing I can do about that. Did you finish the tomb? I finished that part of the tombs. Oh, by the way, guys, I think we're going to skip the next part of Lumiere's Underground. I need to finish. I'm getting back into the community, the Conquest community, and Lumiere is stopping me from really doing that. To the degree that I need to do, because I feel that in the position I am as a somewhat, we call it well-known conquester, I feel that I am kind of obligated in a certain degree to be more what do you call it, interconnected and actively involved with the community. Wherever it is, and I want to do that, and Lumiere is kind of stopping me from doing that, but I do feel that we definitely need to finish this build, so I will do my best to do that. There has been a disturbance on my YouTube page. Goodness gracious. What disturbance is that? Have a question. How will Conquest run on MacBook? I don't know anything about technical stuff there. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to do something like this, you know, just kind of like sprawl it out a little bit. So it looks like there's like a little bit of a cave-in. Not a cave-in, but something like that, you know. There we go. Oh, message that you stream, of course. Well, welcome there, Django. How are you doing today? I hope that you are having a fantastic day with many great things that have happened. I don't know. Just saying things, just to say things, you know? What am I building? I'm building ruins right now. Because this would have been an elven manor. In the Elden days, when this was an elven temple, and that just never has been completely demolished. They just kind of left it over here just because, and so there is an elven ruin over here, and I think it's turning out pretty nice. Obviously, we need to keep working on it, but all in good time, I think. All in good time. I think we'll do this there. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, where's the rocks falling away from the build? Where are the rocks falling? I have a few around so far. Like right there, and there, and there. But a lot of it would be buried. And that's what I kind of imagine it. I'm gonna have some, like around back here, I'm gonna have lots of pebbles and things kind of underground or under the grass, maybe little like mounds of grass almost, possibly. We'll see what happens. Haven't fully gotten to that stage yet. We're just doing the bulking stage, and then once we figure that the design is appropriate, we'll get into the more detailing stage. That's how we do it here. We do in stages. We build in stages. Alright, I want to do some kind of bush here. Although I want a different kind of bush, but I don't know if there is any different types of bushes. I guess we'll just do one of these. This is really easy to do, so I don't see why not. Well, not right there. I guess we'll just do buttercups. Dang it. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Thank you very much. I don't want that either. Put that there. Okay. Anyways, let's put some spruce. No, these are birch leaves. Let's put some birch leaves in this tree and some of those bad boys. Very, very old. Yes. Well, not very, very old, but old enough. There are some people that don't really like how I'm making it seem so, like, still intact. But it's just what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. I wanted to make it look a little more like it was. Like, you know, obviously a lot of this stone would have probably been used in the foundations of Lumiere. Well, maybe not. Maybe just the temple stones and such, but this stone, for example, probably was just used for some of these buildings, like some of these houses that are around Lumiere. Maybe they recycled, because it's kind of common. For example, Hadrian's Wall. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that's the wall that separates Britain during the Roman times. I forget what emperor it was, but they were tired of the massive expense it cost to try and conquer the whole of Britannia. And so they ordered the construction of a gargantuan wall, similar to that of the Great Wall of China, to keep the what they called the barbarians, or the Gauls. I think it was no, not the Gauls. It was, I don't know, I don't know what they called them. But anyways, the people of Britain out from their lands. And anyways, current day, most of the wall is destroyed because people use the remains of the walls to build their houses, the foundations to their villages and their towns and their cities. Because if the stone's already hewn, why go and quarry it again, you know? When the plot's done, will you move it into a world or just leave it on its own? I'm not going to move it into a world. I do plan on possibly bringing it over to the Darwin server, so that it can be on the server. And also I'm going to provide it for download over on Planet Minecraft. So that will be good. I think I should also probably convert all of my old builds as well. Like all my other builds that are on Planet Minecraft that are still for 1.7.10 download. You know, in fact, if any of you would be interested in being a very helpful Red Clanian, maybe any of you would be interested in going through all of the downloads I have on Planet Minecraft and converting them to the current version of the mod. In fact, wait until the 1.12. Well, I don't know. You can do it now. I mean, if any of you are interested in doing that, I would be most thankful. I do believe, though, if there are people out there that are going to do that, and I feel bad that if there's more than one person that's actually willing to do that. Hey there, Milge. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. The picks, yes. Also, another news update. Kingdoms of Darwinia is a thing coming up here soon. It is basically Duconia 2.0. The reason why I say that is because it's going to be survival and it's going to be awesome. I don't know if I will be streaming it, but I will be making a series on it. I do have a couple, like, not generic plans, but kind of like ideas of what's going to happen, but I'm not going to be leading anything. I just want to kind of be a part of a group, preferably a somewhat large group, so that there's always progress each time I'm able to make a video. And then it would be awesome if there could be Django. I remember we were talking about the Fortress State. Since I probably wouldn't be able to be there as much as other people, maybe whoever is the most active builder of the project could record the replays and then just send them to me, and I can edit and upload the videos on them. That would actually be the most effective method right there. And then, of course, the times I am able to be on, then I could, of course, make the videos. But you know how it is. Life and all. Good stuff. Yes, still on Ruins. That is going to be us for the next century or so. No, I'm just kidding. No, not quite that long. We're going to be just doing this. Probably, I would guesstimate, this will probably be the last stream on Ruins. Anything after this will most likely be... Okay. Will most likely be us moving on with more details around... for example, we still got to do all of this, all the outside, the plot here, all the way up till about, I would say here. This would probably be good, like parallel with the castle there. We also got to finish all of this right here. Well, I don't really want to do that yet until we do the Lord's Residence. I feel like that just gives us some space to work with in case we absolutely need it for something, like fortifications kind of sticking out, buttresses, whatever else. Maybe like we could have like a whole bunch of rubble from the old elven temple that was there. All kinds of ideas there. Convert Crine so someone else can finish that Siffish project. I'm not a big fan of that, actually. I don't ever want to go back to that project, but it's my view on Crine is similar to that of Seabridge. If we're going to do Crine again, it's going to have to be 2.0, like started over again, and built the proper way as I imagine it, instead of how I was kind of forced to do it in relation to how it turned out in the series. It would have to be something more designed for the build, like terrain designed for the build, and just everything designed for the build, lore built for it and everything. Because now, like, when I was going through the series, I kind of came up with how I wanted it to be as I was doing the series. And so now that I have a solid plan as to what it should be, it just turned into a complete mess. And yeah, so yeah, if we ever go back to Crine, it's going to be redone. Are you purposely waiting to finish the Lord's Residence? Yeah, we're doing this by an episode by episode basis there, VitVat. The next episode will be the Lord's Residence. If we just did all of the home there all at once, it would kind of take away from the entire series. Like, why then would I make videos of all the surroundings? You know, I want to keep people coming back. You know, you guys want to see the Lords or the whole castle done. And even once I'm done the Lord's Residence, it's still not going to be finished. The last episode of Lumiere, I'm going to go back through the entire place and pretty much revise it all with the new blocks and just update it and make it look so much nicer. Not that I'm going to change any of the design. I'm just going to update the architectural style with the new blocks that we have so that it looks smoother and more elegant as the... pretty much every building past the update looks much more elegant than anything before the update. Because of all of the new blocks that we have, all the new types of blocks, and so we have to update that as we progress. So that's kind of the synopsis on the progression of Lumiere. Excuse me. I planned... The curvy bridge that leads into that one city's artifact is just so beautiful, yet there's really nothing too special about it. I know, it was just beautiful. When is the next community stream? That'll be Saturday there, Canberry. That's my plan. The entire build from start to finish, once you're done, it would be great to see it come together as one instead of only in episodes. Well, maybe what we could do, I could do a reverse time-lapse. The problem with that would be is it would not follow how I built the project, but what I could do is recruit a bunch of people to help me, and we could pretty much basically you destroy blocks. Like, say we're building this tree, you destroy the tree. Well, see, the problem with that, then it would look like a team build. I don't know, man. I don't think it's really worth. I don't know if it's worth me doing a whole time lapse on this, because I definitely don't have the recordings for it. That's all pretty much, you know, I'm past that point. But I mean, that would be cool and all. Just, is it worth it? Probably not. Not to me, at least. I just kind of want to get this project done so that I can move on. I got things I want to do, people I want to see, servers I want to build on. Well, I don't know if I want to build on the servers, but well, I'm already building the servers, so never mind. I do want to build on the servers. Oh, come on, give me the blocks I want. Thank you very much. Be cool. Reverse time lapse, but you need a team for it. Too much for one person. Exactly. They're Golem. What is the biggest thing you have built? If you go on my Planet Minecraft there, Hollow Knight, I do have kind of a list of different things that I have built in the past. However, they are, a lot of them are incomplete. All of them are pretty much on plots, unfortunately. Except for Affenmeyer, which was an open world. I want to do more open world builds. I'm so tired of building on plots. So tired of it. It's really time for me to just quit plots. Because there's builders out there that build only in open worlds, and I'm so jealous of them. Like, I just want to do that. Like, just stop what I'm doing and then just build just incredible stuff on open worlds. That would just be the greatest. But yeah, I don't know. Would you consider Bob Ross or Pablo Picasso at Minecraft building? I would consider myself neither of those. They're skillywags. I like to consider myself as just Dukon Red One. That is what I am, who I am, and I don't really think it's worth trying to compare myself with any of those fantastic people. I am simply yet another Minecraft builder out there. Let's do... What was I gonna do? // fast. Yes, fast. Can't stand how slow that is. Goodness, why is FAWE so slow? Can somebody answer that for me? Were you working on Lumiere yesterday, Dukon, or the community plot that you were building on Sunday? What was I doing yesterday? I didn't stream yesterday. But my last stream, I was working on this. What is the biggest thing? Maybe just time-lapse parts of the episodes cut together and sped up. It's logging. Well, see, the thing with that, Exeter, is it needs to be, like, I can understand that whole logging thing for larger operations, but this is literally one block at a time. This shouldn't be a thing. World Edit never had this problem. I've only ever had a problem with this on FAWE. And it's really bothering me. Plus, it destroys my builds if I forget that it's off and I use a brush. It's one of the most annoying features in this. Well, yeah, it's just super annoying. I can't stand it. I can't believe all I need to do is just remove it from my mods. And just use World Edit. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. It's just like other things. Like, I'm such a procrastinator. I need to set up. I got so many things I gotta fix on my car, and I just haven't set up an appointment yet. Like, I have a exhaust leak in my hood. I got to fix my AC, or recharge my AC for the summer. I got to check my control arms, because the last time I was in a place to get my tires changed, they said my control arms were almost busted. And that was like, what, 8 months ago? Let's see, what else do I need to do? Oh, I have other things. I gotta get an oil change. There's other things. My left blinker, my left turn signal light is bugged out. There's just things keep going on. I think his wife can disagree. Yes, definitely. Yes, and I am married to my wife. A wife. I am married to a wife. Alright. I think we're going to do that right there. And I don't think there really needs to be anything else there. Also, I think I'm going to cave in this entire wall so that it looks like it's just kind of like... Let's just kind of build it up here so it looks like the whole wall just kind of came crashing down. So something like this, I suppose. It would come up pretty high. So something like that, I think. And then we'll just go ahead and remove all of that. And then a lot of this can be kind of caved in as well. So something like that. Also, all of this water would have to go somewhere. Because obviously all of this, whenever a rainstorm would come, it would collect like a pool in here. And of course, the, old hewn stone would not be strong enough to hold it back. So there would obviously be a little bit of a flow path going down to the creek down below. And so that's kind of how I imagine that. A little flow path right there so that all of that can go somewhere. Same thing with right here, but I'm not sure if we need to make a flow path for that. Hey there, Mart. I'm doing fantastic. How you doing? And Crazy Maniac, welcome. And Vasa. Man, we're getting a lot of awesome people joining here. Great to see you all. Welcome to the stream. I think I'm going to just go ahead and do this as the base. So that way we have a solid texture to reference as we are building. So we'll just go ahead and do that so we don't have that solid red block in the way. It just gets a little bit annoying. There we go. Beautiful. I did say I was going to make this building a little bit more diagonal, but I decided not to do that because it would be more difficult to execute the idea that I'm planning on doing for in here. What I'm going to do is make this whole thing like this. This is all going to be like a collapsed wall and everything here, but I'm going to make a wooden platform with on stilts or on supports. And then on top of that is going to be a canvas, and then on the actual platform is going to be where the one of the knights is camped here. So that's kind of the plan there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Just go ahead and tear all that away. Possibly even... You know what? I think I will do this over here, though. So it'd be kind of like that. So you'd step up. The reason why I am doing that is, say if you didn't have that, you would look straight off, and it would just see off the plot, and it would kind of disenchant the immersion. We don't want that. And so that just gives you that fraction of immersion, just the stepping up there. Now, obviously, if you step up on it, or even get close for that matter, you're going to see off and the immersion's broken. But it's just a little idea I had, and I think that I think it's a good idea. Now, since this is going to be covered by a wooden platform, it's not going to really have any grass in here, I don't think. Maybe a little bit around the edges, but I think the majority of it is going to be more stone and just materials that are, well, not stone, maybe dirt mixed in there as well. So let's just go ahead and grab some gravel, something like that, I suppose. First time live viewer, always watched after an upload, but this is the first time live. Great work. All right there, Mr. Dookie. Fantastic to hear, and welcome to the stream. How are you today? Great to see ya. Also, well, I don't know. Yeah, we could do a little bit of this because it wouldn't always be covered. I don't think there's still room to kind of like do, well, whatever we want there, but I just kind of think that it's a good idea to add in a little bit of mossy stone there to keep us moving along. So something like that, I suppose. And we're obviously now we are just using blocks right now, guys. You can definitely tell, but We will be moving on to some more things here soon. Also, I kind of want to do this. Well, that needs to go. So it needs to be like that. So there's going to be 2 windows in this building. Would have been something like that. We'll just say the chimney was somewhere else. I don't know. I'm really bad at mixing colors and textures together. Honestly, for me, it's just it's hard to explain. I'm a terrible teacher, to be honest. It's literally one of the... I would say one of my least qualities is actually being able to talk in a certain way that would be helpful to as a tutorial type style. I tend to struggle over my words a lot, but anyways, it's hard for me to explain my thought process. But for me, what I look for, like right now for texturing, I'm just looking for mossy stones and generally older looking crumbly stone. And then I don't just like mix it everywhere. I don't make it spotty. Like you make little patches of it some places, and you use highlights and shadows wherever you feel like it needs to be. And I guess it kind of looks a little bit spotty with these mossy stone bricks kind of thrown in there. But at the same time, I like it still, so we'll keep doing it. Sure, there, Lomo. What we've done is just kind of the main building over here. It has a little bit of a cellar underneath that has a few collapsed portions. Haven't finished down there, of course. We've just kind of thrown in a few layers up here. We're going to be adding in some trees and miscellaneous vegetation to really make that come together there. This would have used to have been a little like arched pathway here, possibly covered at one point. Kind of like that. But yeah, kind of like that. I like it, how that turned out. Uptime there, Don Minecraft. No longer is a command. However, I have been live for about 41 minutes right now. Right. So I would say probably a little bit more of this stone right here. Just kind of strewn it in wherever we feel like it needs to go. And then maybe some gravel mixed in there to finish off that. I mean, it's not going to all be like that, but that's just a little bit of a fill-in for now. Do something like that there, and put that there, and put that right there. Okay, good enough. The arches look amazing. I don't know about that, but they're arches, and they fit the style. They fit well. Makes it look interesting. It's just an interest. It's just a focal point. Not a focal point. It's just something interesting, something different. You don't want to just have random, just building-looking things everywhere. Obviously, this would have been a architecturally, aesthetically pleasing construction. Being an elven construction, I'm sure that there was a lot of neat things here. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do here is make sure that we have some good architectural influences at least to go from. Earlier when you talked about the water collecting in the ruins, wouldn't that actually be quite the nice detail little pond in the ruins with a bit of vegetation stuff around? I think I could do that actually. Maybe we could do something like that up here. Maybe this is just a little place where the water kind of collects. I can imagine that. Just a little, yeah, a little place to collect water that, you know, water collects right there. I think that'd be a cool idea. But not in here, I don't think. I think that it looks a little bit more, a little bit better doing it this way. And maybe we'll do a half slab stone brick right there. And then we'll go ahead and build that bad boy up a little bit like so. All right. So what do you guys think so far? Is this turning out all right? Any suggestions, critiques? Let me go ahead and do this really quick so we get an idea. Well, no, we got to finish down here first. This is kind of important before we actually move on to the next phase of throwing in the whatever it's going to be called, the thing. Before we throw in the thing, we gotta do this. Right, and a little bit of that right there, and we want a little bit of that right there, and then we want a little bit of this, just like that. Well, no, we'll go, yeah, let's do that right there, and then that right there. Beautiful. First time viewer, okay. Earlier when you talked about the water collecting ruins, okay, so I just don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody's messages. Just, if you notice me reading your message again, just trying to ensure that I'm not missing anybody. It makes me sad. Actually, I'm gonna make it thinner. I don't think it needs to be so thick. So I would say probably something like this would be more efficient. So we'll just go ahead and do this for now as a placeholder, and then we'll come back through with the platform. You know what? There is a platform we could use, but never mind. We'll just use this here. I think it's just generally an easier thing to do. And then there's also room underneath we could possibly use for something. I don't know what, but possibly storage. So maybe there's like a way to get down there. Yeah, you can walk underneath, so there's a way that we could do something like that. But we do need supports, and the way that I am thinking about doing that is there is going to be things like this every so often. Probably every couple blocks. So one there. Let's see, we want to make it kind of even. So one there, and that's 3, so it needs to be one there and one there. And we need the same thing over here. One there, and one there. But the problem with, oh no, that's actually fine. Just rewatch Crying and simply how massive actually was. Yeah, good old Crying. That was a very large build. Alright, so what I'm thinking about doing for this is using the Rustic Fence. I'm hoping that this is going to work, as I hope it will. No, it's not. So we're just going to have to blow through the dirt like that, which is alright. I don't think it really matters all that much. I do kind of want to make it look a little bit more supported, but is there a way to do that? I don't know. Maybe we could use wooden boards in certain areas. So something like this, maybe? Just kind of strewn about wherever we feel like it needs to be. So something like that. Just kind of strewn about wherever we feel like it works best. There we go. Yeah, it's not bad. And then there would be probably railings on the back here, but we aren't going to get to that quite yet. And then we would need stair blocks. So something like just the jungle wood would be good enough. So something like that. But I think that it would be nice to have something of a fireplace in here. I don't know how to go about doing that though, so I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. Let's just do the ruins. Let's finish the ruins up. We got the base idea for that now. If anyone can think of a better design for what to do in there, or a better idea how to make it look more appropriate, let me know. Because my idea with this is to make like a canvas top, and kind of covered on the sides in a way. But not sure. No tables as platform. No tables as platform. Tables. Are you talking about the other? Oh, not that. Goodness, stop. Okay. There is these, right? Is it in this one? No. It's this block, right? This one right here. There's several others that have this texture too, but there's this right here that I was thinking of that could possibly work. But the problem is we wouldn't have these support blocks that would work with it, and it also bugs out like that in certain times. So I feel like that what we got here is probably a good route to go. We can add some support in the center. I could do that, yeah. But I was thinking, well, no, this would all be like, never mind. It's probably not a good idea to put any stuff in here. Like, well, see, this is all going to be pretty... I'm having a terrible time coming up with the words I want to say. It's going to be pretty wet down here because of all the water making its way down. The runoff. So, just got to kind of keep that in mind. We can't walk through that, so we got to be careful. So maybe what we could do is use a stair block like this, and then do something like that. And then we need maybe this right here. Well, no, not that. Maybe this right there. And bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, so something like that. There would need to be a little bit of a drainage here as well. I feel like that's kind of necessary. So something like that, because all the drainage from here, and then maybe there could be still a collection of water up there as well. Because I did like that idea, and I do want to keep that in mind. But for right now, we'll go ahead and keep doing this until we sort something out more of a solid plan, you know? Maybe someone made the ruins into some sort of hideout, like secret camp under the rubble. Well, I don't want anything like evil over here, because typically you wouldn't have something this close to a major thoroughfare. If it's any kind of shady kind of thing, it would have to be really, really well hidden. The reason why I kind of like the idea of just a night camping here is because being so close to Lumiere, it's probably a pretty guarded area. Even though nobody really comes here on the vast majority of time. Even that little bit of time that it maybe it is, it's still too much of a risk for bandits to use this place as a hideout, because it's right next to the castle. So literally it would be about 10 minutes 5 minutes for probably a contingent of 30 knights or 30 soldiers to get from the castle to here. Too quick. If the water runs under it, you can mud maybe. Oh yes, mud. That's a good idea. Let's do some mud, thick mud, and muddy dirt. So we can do a little bit of mud, like that would probably be mud over here. And we need to do layers because that's going to be a lot more efficient. So we'll just kind of throw in a little bit of mud around wherever we feel like we can put it. I think I'm going to do something like this right there, okay? And then kind of like that. And like this. Beautiful. And add the fire beneath it. Put half of the platform a bit higher and add the fire beneath it. Oh, you think that there should be a fire under here? I don't know about that. As much as I like that idea, it still would be a kind of impractical area to put a fire, because it would, during a rainstorm, which is when you would probably need the fire the most, would be doused. Unless if there was some special way to hold it up, which isn't actually... Well, maybe what we could do, which isn't the worst idea, is just use one of these. I don't think it's the worst idea. And it could be even up on top of a pedestal kind of thing. So even something like this could probably be kind of a good idea. And then that would keep them warm at least while they're inside this tent. Hey Genova, how you doing? Could add a hidden dead body. I don't know about a dead body. I think dead bodies are too overrated to be completely fair. I mean, it's just, because, see, death is one of those things that, you know, can be really over-exaggerated. Because especially in the medieval era, it's really kind of this hysteria that, you know, there was torture and everybody died and it was just such a gruesome period. But in fact, it was a much more civilized period than you might imagine. But they did, of course, have, which, I mean, even nowadays, we still have some pretty gruesome things going on, but still, yeah, I don't think it was quite as bad as it's made out to be. Okay, a little bit of that right there. Is that for a knight? Yeah, there's going to be a knight here. He is going to be camped right there. There is not going to be an official way on the plot to get here, I don't think. Maybe there could be. Like a little pathway coming down from here. I think that actually is a good idea. Not so much for the realistic value, but for the plot cohesion. Because we are building a plot here, it's kind of important to have that cohesion kind of factor involved. And if we don't have that, it's going to be obvious and rather annoying to have to fly around if you want to see things, and the only way to get to certain things is by flying. And so I just kind of imagine having everything connected in some kind of smart way would probably be the best route. Oh, man. How did the plot end up being bigger than it has in the beginning? It got moved from one world to another, and then from that, yeah, anyways, it got moved already once before. And then I had to fill up that plot space and so on. So that's how that bucket of beans came to be. Actually, around that, I'm going to do that mossy grass. This right here. How did you... So you're expanding the plot. No, I'm not expanding the plot. Well, expanding it to the border when it got moved. That's been the plan since it got moved. But no, not expanding the plot past the plan. There's a nice spacious garden 2 meters back. Why should the knight stand on this unsafe wooden platform? It's not totally unsafe. It's going to be really overgrown over here. Also, I'm going to do that, I think. And this is going to be really overgrown here. Right now, it seems a little bit out of place because it's just kind of like, you know, there. And it's like kind of weirdly, it looks a little weird. But I think that we'll be able to make that look a little bit nicer here soon. All in good time. Go ahead and push that out right there. Put some Alien Covenant music. So, what's going on? Mr. Doogie Fresh, thank you for that follow and welcome to the Red Clan. Great to see you. And Toxic Bigfoot, how you doing? I am working on some ruins on the corner of the plot of Lumiere. Just trying to come up with some details and nothing unique here, nothing out of the ordinary. Or not, I guess out of the ordinary probably, but nothing new, should I say. Just kind of building something that some of us have probably seen before. Just a collection of stones, moss, and plants, and things. Doesn't really matter. Alright, I think what I'm going to do here is probably use this stone right here. Would the ruins have a place for something like that? I was actually thinking about making a bathhouse here around Lumiere. There's one spot that we have space for a building, and I was thinking there's two ideas that I kind of had for that spot. One could be a chapel-like thing for the village, and the other idea is a bathhouse. Like not a Roman bathhouse, like not a classical very, no, definitely not that, but something more of a medievally, like this style bathhouse. It wouldn't be as crazy. Stone, suffer from rain, etc. It's not permanent. Their golem is just kind of a temporary thing. We don't usually have wood outside for permanent things, permanent settings. Alright, I'll keep doing that there, and maybe a little bit more of this going down as well, I would presume. Something like that, something like that, I think. There we go. And thank you there, Toxic, I appreciate that. Elven bathhouse. As much as I like that idea, I don't think that really fits. I don't think. We'll see though. Not going to discount the idea. Let's see here. Let's put a little bit more of this around. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more of that fanciful contrast there. Definitely not that. Why? Oh, wait, I had the wrong block. That's why. There we go. It's like, why don't I have a trapdoor then? There we go. Alright. I need to go back over here and see, was there any other textures I used that I'm not using? No, we are using all the no, we're not. We gotta use these. The mossy stone. We're building some ruins here, Ragnarsson. Trying to make Lumiere have a little bit of a, you know, an age, have some age to it. I typically don't like ruins, but since we've built so much, like I hate games like Witcher 3. Pretty much 90% of the game was ruins, and it just bothered the shinizzle out of me. But I still really like the game, nonetheless. But I couldn't stand that literally everything was in ruins. It was like, you know, oh, look at this great place, this castle, woohoo! Look at this, guys, and it's all ruined. And you're like, come on, you serious? But yeah, I don't like ruined things so much. I mean, pretty much everything I've built, that you guys know of at least, has been mostly in its prime. That's the style that I prefer. That's what I enjoy to do. Because again, I look at, I'm sure a lot of you do, but you look at the Minecraft as a expression of art or an expression of yourself. And since I see so much kind of like, what do you call it, disorder and decay in real life, it's just kind of nice to go into a quote-unquote fairy tale land where everything's perfect. Like, it just has the vibe of being just so much more, like, it makes you happy, you know? I don't know, this is more to me than just like throwing blocks on the ground and talking to you guys. This is more of a fulfilling activity for me to do at the end of a work day or at the end of a week, where I can just kind of relax and just get away from all that and come to a place where I feel a little more comfortable. Yes, escape from reality. That is exactly that's what it is. And that's, I mean, some people look at it more as a challenge and like a puzzle almost. I kind of look at it as a puzzle, but I don't challenge myself with it. Like, I don't know, I just don't have this mentality. I've never had the mentality, really, of challenging myself to... like, there's people that really like Victor, for example, like, goes full out realism, like, does all the research for example, the ship he's working on, and that's fantastic. I mean, I find that absolutely incredible. It's just not for me because, you know, this is again a place where I want to come to get away from that. Just kind of a blank palette to fill however I see fit. I'll be coding my own shaders from scratch. Oh my goodness, that sounds like quite the job there. Like the Godswood tree in Winterfell from Game of Thrones. I got this idea to make a really gnarly big oak tree. I'm not sure who suggested that over on Twitter. I'm gonna go back to my notifications here and see. It's quite a ways down. Let's see who suggested that to me. It was Andy, Zigger Zagger. But he suggested this really cool idea of making like a really old, gnarly tree. And I really like it. It's going to be like a really thick trunk, like thicker than most of the other trunks we have, but it's not going to be super tall. It's just going to be a really, really thick trunk tree with maybe some kind of carving in the base or something in it. Oh, I'm not going to put crystals in it, no. That's not the plan. But I just thought it would be neat to have a special tree here of some sort. Thick trunk. No, Lumiere is not on Darwin. This is on single player. One day I might cave in. I think the day of caving in might be sooner rather than later. We'll see what happens, but I'm thinking about bringing it over to Darwin even though it's still in building process, but I might just do it officially here soon because Victor will be filming his next episode of Todd's Adventure, and he said he wants to use Lumiere for his recording. And so I suppose we might bring it over there then. Love to explore it in person. It's just another build there, Joko. I guarantee you. You're going to see it in person, and you're going to say, oh, this is cool, and then you're just going to walk off, and you're going to say, look at that other build over there. You know, that's the novelty of it, I suppose, is that, you know, you see me building it on screen. It looks, you know, generally, seeing it on screen, on somebody else's screen, it just makes things look so much more interesting. But trust me, it's just another build. Who is Todd, and where did he give Ventures lead Todd? It's kind of it's a funny story how that all works out, but I don't know. It's all over on Victor Comics' channel. Really, really great. Really, really great. What do you call it? Series. Can somebody actually, could one of my mods be so friendly enough to find Victor's link and post it here in chat so everybody can go check out Victor's channel? Yes, I do remember rules of the plot. And here's my cat sniffing my hands, sniffing the mic. So if you guys hear some weird sounds, that's what it is. Piglin, my man, how you doing? Welcome. My cat is now in the way. I can't see anything. Oh my gosh. What? Goodness. All right, go ahead and spam that really quick there, Piglin. Go to Victor Comics' channel there, guys. Piglin is posting the link in his in chat. So if you are interested in seeing that absolutely amazing series, Todd's Adventure, you guys definitely should go check that out. Do the Gothic window in the window space. Ooh. Well, I don't know. I feel like that would have been kind of... I think it's a good idea, but I just feel that that would have kind of lost or... I don't know, maybe. Yeah, whatever. We'll just go with it. Is there another Gothic window? No, there's not. Just that one there. Oh my gosh. If you guys could see this, is hilarious. My cat jumped in the trash can to bat around a bottle cap. All I see is his butt, like, up in the air. He's batting it around. Oh, man. I really should have a cat cam. I don't know. What game music gets you inspired, hyped to build? Honestly, whenever I build on my own, I usually listen to a lot of the same stuff. Oh my gosh, will you stop? Will you stop? Oh my gosh, you are such an annoying little bugger. Can you guys hear that dinging in the background? I would be very surprised if you couldn't hear that. I'm gonna put some dead bracken up here, something like that. That's not too bad. All right, come here, cat. Move, move, move. There we go. Let me get that. You are such a brat. Oh man, it's annoying. Yeah, I usually listen to Ivan Torrent. I'm not sure if you guys have heard his latest album. Honestly, I don't even know what it's called. Let me go find that out really quick. Give me 1 second, guys, as I search through my YouTubes. I gotta find it here real fast. It's in... There we go. Ivan Torrent, yeah, it's just... I love his latest album. It's Immortelles. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in chat. I can't play it on stream, but if you guys want to go check that out, it's really, really a great album to listen to. I love it. It's a really good inspirational building playlist or album. I find it at least to be very inspiring, and I think you guys might as well. Pingu, how you doing? Welcome. Oh wait, no, Pingu, you've already been here. Oh my gosh. Stop. My synergy is bugging out. So I got this really interesting software called Synergy, but I'm super annoyed by it. It's super awesome that I can use one mouse and one keyboard for two computers. It's basically an online program that allows you to use my 3 monitors. Like I have 1 monitor for one computer and I have 2 monitors for my new computer. And the setup is great, but before Synergy, like I had to use 1 mouse and a on-screen keyboard to type or do anything on my one other computer. So anyways, it's all great now that I can have it all together, but it gets really buggy sometimes. Like my screen starts flickering when I try to go between sometimes. And another thing is when I try to edit replays on my other screen, on my other computer, that my main computer is not, my main computer is the host device, and then I have the, what do you call it, the client device or the non-hosted device? I don't know. But it's just, long story short, it's really, really quite annoying. I use it all the time, pretty much mandatory for my work. Yeah. Synergy is a... but wait, I got the pro version, but I can't copy and paste files from one computer to the other. I got an email saying that they don't have that feature yet, but their pro version clearly says you can copy and paste things with this version, but it's not available. Why is that? Do you have any explanation to that serving? Oh, also, there's another question I have for any computer techs out there. I want to stream or sync my audio from both computers to each other. How do I do that? Like, is there like an audio jack to audio jack cable I can get that just plugs into both computers that syncs the audio? So like literally I can play a video on my other computer. Like it would be super helpful for me because I got to get earbuds for my other computer when I'm editing videos, because I edit them on my other computer. Long story short, it's just, again, super annoying. It would be great to have synced audio. I feel like I'm talking too much, but then again, I'm streaming, so that's what everyone's here for. You're here to listen to me Yep. Are you happy now? Okay. So that's a pretty smooth transition there. We could do like stuff like that. But what's going to make a big difference here? What's going to make a big difference here is when I make this like tent-like thing here. You can get a dual jack for your speakers, I think, or earbuds. I don't have speakers. I have a dual jack. A dual jack. Oh, I can get a dual jack for these? Really? Huh. I'm going to have to look. Oh, if anyone could actually help me do that, because I literally procrastinate on these things. If I don't do it like now, or if one of you by chance happens to be so nice as to provide a link as to something I can just click and buy. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. No. Anyways, yeah, provide a safe link for me to go to, and that would be most helpful. In one PC, unplug the audio jack from speakers to mic. A mixer on your one PC. See, I don't want that big mixer though. Like, I don't want this like bulky thing that I have to have another thing on my desk. I just want a simple little cable, if at all possible. Why do you need audio from one other PC? Because I edit my videos on my other computer. And when I'm editing, I gotta use my earbuds. I do have a video capture card that I need to get installed here. I just haven't done that quite yet. Again, I procrastinate on these things, and honestly, I've been super busy. Like, literally every free minute I have, I'm doing something. And it's, that's kind of why, in the past, well, a reason why, should I say, that I kind of just disappear for a while is I just get overwhelmed with everything. Because I'm so clogged up with things. Like, even right now, I'm kind of, like, scared because I'm kind of, like, there's things I want to be involved with. And, I'm kind of stacking these things up. Like, I'm reaching out and I'm saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. Or, hey, can I help you with this? Or, hey, let's do this. Or, you know, and it's kind of like, it's stacking up little by little. And with the limited time I have already, I feel like it's going to be a little bit stressful. I just hope that I'll be able to stick with it. I mean, a software. Software, okay. Why do you need audio? A small tree growing out from the stone wall to cover the outside of the flat. Okay, so a small tree growing out from the stone wall to cover the outside of the plot view. Yeah. I was thinking some kind of... I was thinking this tree over here, one of these. And kind of hanging over. Because a lot of this is probably going to be kind of bushy in here. Also with that gnarly oak that's going to be kind of growing up and inwards. It's probably going to be covering pretty much this whole set of ruins here. Get organized, Dukan. Helps with anxiety. That's one thing I'm not very good at, is organizing. I've never been good at organizing. Again, this is probably going to be kind of not a shock to you guys, but kind of, I guess, a surprise. But I am a very anxious person. Like, I hide it well, but I get incredibly anxious about things, and it's really kind of, like, literally you'll find me at some times, I literally just do nothing. Like, I feel so, like, overwhelmed that I just don't do anything. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. It's just how anxiety works. A small tree growing out from the stone wall. I mean, software. Okay. Alright, so a little bit more moss, I think, would be nice. I think we could do is... let's do a clematis, actually. I like the idea of doing a clematis growing from down here going up. So I'm gonna go grab us a clematis really quick. Well, not a clematis, just blocks for the clematis. You know, just do that. And I just remove that from my inventory. Great. Do I got everything? Get that. Yes, I would say I got everything. Okay, and now we gotta get a replace tool back. Whatever, just put it right there. Like exercise and stream in school and work and sleep and food. I wish there was a 48 hours in each day. I know, that's why I get so anxious there, Pingu, is I just don't feel like I have enough time for everything I want to do. And like what I want to be more involved with this. This is a passion of mine, being able to do this. But see, nobody in my real life understands how this or what this is. Nobody understands the art behind it, doesn't understand the passion behind it. And it's a little stressful on the real life side because, you know, even though I put in the work I do, it's still, people are like, you do that? Like, seriously, man? And it just gets, it's annoying to have to put up with that on top of other things. It adds to the anxiety. But I'm sure, again, some of you guys can relate to that. Man, I'm really kind of speaking out. I'm kind of, what do you call it? Venting. I'm venting. Wow, I'm venting. When's the last time I vented? I don't think I've ever... I vent to Piglin all the time. Piglin is my vent guy. I always vent to him. I wish we had 40 hours. How old am I? I am, what am I? 24, I think. But have you had an attack before? An anxiety attack, like literally... Yes, I would say I have had an anxiety attack. I get so overwhelmed, it's crazy. I've been there, done that. They happen. All right. Oh, it does work still. Sweet. I have a 24-year-old in my class. I have a 24-year-old in my class. 24. Oh, they got held back. Wait, Genova, you're still in high school? Well, if you ever just send me a link, we know each other for a while, maybe I can help out. Oh man, it's just there's so many things there, Itchy. There's just so much, so many things, so many miscellaneous little things that add up. He's the teacher. I'm 18. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back to this. There we go, venting again. Ooh, that actually is a nice view right there. I'm looking forward to getting this more situated here. One thing I do want to do, which I think would give this place a little bit better of an atmosphere, is adding in a little bit of mossy logs in here. So something like this, I think, would look quite nice. Just kind of up the tree, sweet. And maybe just a little bit of moss kind of going up the branch there. All right. Sat at home playing games for some years. See, it's so tempting. It's so tempting to just stop and, stop working and play games. Like, how wonderful would that be? And make videos and stuff like that. But then you realize that's not life. If you want to do this, if you want to actually be able to have a life, a comfortable life, or any type of life where you could do something like this, you gotta work for it. I got 52 units into college and currently 26. Taking breaks from school is a terribly addicting thing. Yeah, I kind of gave up school. It's not that, it just never has been for me. I never really had the interest for it. And I definitely suggest people to go to school, for sure. But there are those of us where we are more we're not gifted academically. It's just not our mindsets. It's not our way of life. And there's always going to be different people out there that have different ways of doing things. And I am not meant for school. Yeah, it's not gonna change anything there, Ragnarsson. I mean, it's not gonna like make me quit my job or anything. It's literally, it's at this point, it's just, I'm just here just to have fun. That's what it's for. That is that's why we're here today, having fun, enjoying the time. I enjoy it. I was working multiple jobs to survive. Yeah, multiple jobs. I can't imagine doing that. The most jobs I ever worked at one time was 2, and that was because I worked for my dad. He owned a furniture store, and then I worked for another company. So it's basically 40 to 50 hours a week at the one company, and then I worked about 10 to 20 hours for my dad, and that was a pretty stressful time. I did that for about 2 years, and then anyways, got it. My dad's store went out of business, and then ever since then I've been working at this place. Well, not ever since, but then I started working at this place. Well, no, that's actually when I went and got the other job. Yeah, and then I started working 32 to 40 hours a week. Except for sometimes, man, sometimes my relief wouldn't show up to work, and I'd end up working double shifts all throughout the week. And I remember one week I got a 80-hour week. Or it was 85 hour a week. Because I kept having to, it was the funniest thing. It was like the second week of work. It was the second week of me working for this place. It was when I was working security. And, obviously being the new guy, you can't turn down being called in. And so I kept saying, sure, I'll be in. Sure, I'll be in. Sure, I'll be in. And I regret it so much. Oh, gosh. Hey, Days No End. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. There is no future there. Well, retail in general, I just don't see there. I mean, it's a great place to get money. And if you don't, it's a great filler job. And if you don't feel confident about going into a trade job at that point of your life, that's a great thing to do, is going into retail or the food business. Well, there is definitely careers in food business for sure. But the way I look at it, retail is one of those things that's needed for sure. But my wife's in retail, and she's an assistant manager. But there's only so much you can do. Security for a bar club. No, I did security for a warehouse. I was the truck gate. And also, there's 2 parts. There was the truck gate and then there was the office. But I always was at the truck gate. That doesn't look good. I want a bush there. I'm going to do a bush. We're going to do this, right? Like that. No, like that. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, my security job, it wasn't really all that exciting, but that's when I got my most time in Minecraft, was in those years when I had more time on my hands. And I definitely enjoyed that. I mean, it had its perks, but it definitely didn't really do much for me. Ah, sweet. You have some rocks there. Yeah, come on. Some rocks there. Yeah, just kind of throw rocks wherever we can. Maybe some rocks there. Sweet. Yeah, just a few rocks. Okay, cool. Was there any weird things on your security job? I had to deal with some weird drivers every now and then. I mean, We got drivers from all over the place, and I mean, it's not worth really talking about because it's really not that interesting. But, you know, there's lots of funny things like one Swift driver trying to back up into a space for about 20 minutes, and then a UPS driver is waiting there for about that whole 20 minutes and gets out of his truck, goes over and says, "Hey, can we back that up for you?" Swift driver's like, "Sure." And so the Swift driver detaches from his trailer and drives off, and the UPS driver backs up into the trailer and doesn't even like situate it, pull it forward or anything, just backs it right up into the space, and then comes back out, backs up his trailer, and then keeps going. That was, a lot of you guys won't even find that funny, but I just thought that was the funniest thing. Some people don't know how to drive. Oh, I'm not saying I'd be any better. I can drive a forklift, but I don't know if I could drive a 52-foot. Well, actually, no, I can drive a. I've driven a 30-foot box truck for my work, my current work, but and down in DC at that, downtown DC. Now, if you guys want to challenge yourselves with something pretty stressful, downtown DC in a 30-foot, or no, it was a 20. What was it? 26-foot box truck. That's what it was. 26 foot. Challenge yourself with that, and trust me, you will. You're gonna regret it. Wait, I thought those connected. Why don't those connect? Huh. Let's just do that right there. I'm just thinking of like weird details that can be kind of thrown and strewn underneath that platform there. Is there anything else that you guys would suggest for this area here? A giant penny would be more. Still a penny. There's Mr. Kevin again with the good old logic. That's what I like about you, Kevin. You are a very logical individual. I like a lot more things about you too. I'm just saying. Very logical. Sharks with laser beams. Okay, I am confused. Where did sharks with laser beams come from? Oh, what to add? Okay, I gotcha. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, so maybe a little bit more dirt up here, I think. Just need to kind of brush up the edges here, give us a little bit more stuff to work with, and then this gnarly tree is going to be a pain. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do the gnarly tree now so that we can get that out of the way. Because I feel that without it, we're kind of like not sure what's going to happen. And I need to situate it so that we know what's going on. Fly or super speed? Let me see here. Is this by any chance have anything to do with Supergirl and Flash? No, I haven't watched. No, I did watch the first few episodes of Flash, and I absolutely despised it and never watched an episode after that. Well, never watched it again. But yeah. But yeah. So no. What tree do we want here? Maybe beech. Oh yes, a beech log. Maybe a beech log. I don't know. What do you guys think? That way we can actually use like some kind of carved stone. Possibly. To make it look kind of carved in a certain area. I think that could be interesting. But yeah, and then there would be like large roots, kind of like... We might be getting a little bit too big with this, actually. And then we got to kind of go back like that. Super speed. Hey, Coco, how you doing? Big tree in the corner of the plot. I don't think I'm going to go back that far. Just something like that, I think. And it's going to be kind of hanging over this way. It's not going to be huge. It's not going to be like a super tall tree. in comparison to the others on the plot, it's going to be its own kind of thing, but I do think that we're getting in the right direction here. It's going to be a thick but shorter tree. Thicker but shorter. Let's just stop it there. I feel like we're going to get really, we're going to get some pretty, anyways, let's just, yeah. How you guys doing today? It's not going to be tall, Genova. It's just going to be like that. Like, literally, that's kind of like as tall as it's going to be, and now we're going to start having the branches fanning out. It's just going to be thick. That's the plan. So something like that, and maybe the branch can kind of like curl back around there. Maybe we can have a branch kind of coming out here, possibly. Okay. Now we don't want to like make it look like it's even or anything, but you know, we'll figure out something. And make a branch there, I suppose. Another branch here if we can. See, this is the hard part, trying to figure out this, like the branches, because being on the corner of the plot, we only got so much space we can work with, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to make this fit in as I would hope. And then I think we'll go ahead and like do something like this, maybe, where the root just kind of grows out. We're gonna make it more interesting looking, like maybe make it go underground in certain areas like that. We'll put anyways, that's just an idea there. I need another branch, but I want it to be kind of different than the other one. See, then again, we're working with a plot, so we gotta work it in. See, it looks like mirrored now, in a way. It looks mirrored almost, so what we need to do is figure out some way to make this actually work. Maybe we could do this instead. So instead of it kind of bending down, it could go kind of up. Maybe this could be different here. So instead it could go like something like this. And then kind of, then come back down, maybe? I don't know. That's too big there. Something like that, possibly. And then you could have, like, other branches coming out in certain areas. Like, right now we're just doing block phase. We haven't even gotten to the detailing phase yet. Hey there, Game Changer. I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? Have you ever thought about making an expansive Lumiere area? No. As much as I would like to do that, it would take way too much time. Time that could be spent with me being more active with the Conquest community versus being kind of lone wolfing it. I do like lone wolfing it, don't get me wrong. It's been a great experience, but it's an experience that needs to come to an end because I want to help the community as much as I can. Like, I want to do time lapses, and I want to try to find more ways. Like, I'm trying to think of ways to boost my content. It's just... editing takes forever to do, and I need to figure this all out. I mean, this is all kind of accumulating right now. I'll see as much as I can do. I will do as much as I can do, but that's pretty much the best I can say. The best I can do is the best as I can do. That's all there is to it. And thank you, Game Changer. I appreciate that. I hope that it will turn out good. But I did like the idea of having a gnarly tree here, kind of overshadowing this whole ruin type thing. Why it hasn't been cut down, I couldn't tell you. But there's a nice little tree here in the corner of the plot that hasn't been cut down. I do want to do that. I want to do survival, and I want to make videos of it. I have been talking to someone possibly coming up with some plans as to what we're going to do. I'll talk to you guys about it after the stream here. Well, actually, it's just going to be you, Ragnar, isn't it? I suppose Arcanus is going to be off doing something. Well, sleeping, probably. That's usually what one does if it's however late it is for him. Some kind of special leaves on this tree, maybe. Man, I could really go for some mushroom biome leaves right now. Have you ever thought about Conquest SMP, maybe? That's what we're planning their Days No End is. Kingdom of Darwinia is survival, and I want to do that. It's a new... I'm not sure if you are familiar with Darwin or the plans that's going on with that, but Kingdoms of Darwinia is going to be a really, really neat survival system that's being implemented, and Conquest is obviously the survival update is... you've heard it from here. I'm not sure if you guys are knowledgeable about this, and I don't know. Don't hold me to this, but I have heard from reliable sources that 1.12 is a month out. Less than a month, so we'll see what happens, and hopefully it'll happen. But, you know, there's always the chance for some kind of hiccup. There's always a chance for a hiccup somewhere, and so that's why we, you know, you never know. I know they're piggling. I need to figure it out. I'm gonna put some, like, obviously all this up here needs to be kind of bushy as well. So I'm gonna be doing that and just getting this set up here. Getting everything set up first. And then we'll start adding in the extra details and giving this a little bit of a fluffy canopy, you know? Trill, how you doing? Welcome. Great to see ya. White tree and red leaves. I know that's kind of the idea. I was actually thinking maybe we could do white leaves. Would you guys be against that? Since we don't have specifically the mushroom biome red leaves, we do have white leaves, however. And that could look really nice. Are they going to add a terrain manager to Conquest Survival? I, honestly, see, this is something, well, no, I'm not going to say anything about that. I really like the Conquest world generation, and I think that it just adds just this really unique spin to Conquest. I'm super, super, super excited for it. I can't wait to show you guys. It's just going to be great. Apparently, they've added 20 new biomes. And also, apparently, world generation is better now. I even heard it was perfected. So, I haven't checked it out myself. And usually, I find a lot of things that I kind of usually, what do you call it? Things that I would see changed, but I am looking forward to seeing what they've done. I'm sure that, you know, I've heard from multiple people that it's looking really good, so I think I'm going to trust that and eventually actually showcase it, but we'll see what happens here. Are the mountains any good yet? Are the mountains? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Well, see, the mushroom biome leaves don't work, though. And also, it's going to change all the grass colors, and it's going to mess up all the colors of everything. So, I think what's best is just go ahead and use white leaves, white cherry blossoms. It'll be a nice little contrast here in the corner as well. I'm going to go ahead and just add a few more branches here, because we want to make sure it has a nice, thick canopy. Maybe a few more branches down low, just to give us a little bit more fluff. And now, well, once we're done with this, then I gotta start doing slabs and stairs and everything to make the tree perfected. But we're just trying to finish this up. I want some kind of carving right here of some type. We're getting into the GOT kind of thing. No, not necessarily their days, no. There isn't any lore behind it. It's just kind of being built here. Honestly, I haven't done anything with the Lumiere lore since I started it. It's usually how I am. I kind of start something and then I never finish it. Fortunately, well, hopefully that won't end up with a build, but yeah, I usually have a tendency to start lore, for example, and I do it for like a day or 2 days or something like that, and then I take a break from it, and then randomly at some point in my life I'll be like, oh yeah, I still have lore I need to finish, and then I'll be like, oh, let's get back to that. Same thing with the lore that the team that I'm involved with, we're making lore for the world that Lumiere is built in, along with all my other builds and everything. But we haven't done anything with it, so... Well, we have, it's just not in the past, like, week or so, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks we haven't done anything. Kind of taking a break. I think breaks are necessary when coming to things like this. Like, because literally when I was working on it, that's all I was really focusing on. But now I'm trying to focus on videos and streaming. I'm trying to do more streaming. It's realistic for me to only really dedicate to one thing. Alright there, Django. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next one. There was red next to the white. Well, it's not a true red, Kevin. It's kind of an annoying red. It's like, see that over there? We already have that color. We already have it. Maybe we could do this. Something like that, and then put... I guess we can't do that. Put that right there, I suppose. Maybe it's like ironwood and the human's tools can't cut it down. That's an interesting idea. Remember, the humans also have magic and things as well, so... I mean, if they really wanted to cut this tree down, they could use magic, I'm sure. I'm sure there's some kind of lore to it as to why the tree isn't cut down. We'll just have to figure it out. All in good time. As is the way with building. Is the music still playing? Yes, it is. Okay. Maybe a really dark leaf would contrast well with the light gray logs. A really dark leaf. See, we don't... I don't know. I feel like if we just go with any normal leaf, it's just going to look like a normal tree. And do we really want to go for that? Do we really want a normal tree, or do we want to try to make it look a little more interesting? I mean, it's not really consequential to me. I don't really care one way or the other. If you guys have a better idea, I'm definitely all ears and listening. Okay, it could be a berry, I don't know how to spell it, tree for a grave or something. Maybe, but do we really want to do more underground? I'm so burnt out from underground, it's kind of funny. Man. I've pretty much had enough underground for a while. And that's not why I'm kind of thinking about not doing the next underground section. Skipping that. The reason why I'm wanting to skip the next underground section is so that I can move on. And like I said before, be more involved. But we'll see what happens. It's kind of impossible for the me now to tell the me later on in the future what I'm going to do. It's kind of a useless type of thing because usually the me in the future is a lot different than the me now and ends up going crazy in some way or another. So, you know, that's just the way it works. I've just come to accept it. Alright, tree is looking better, but it's not looking perfect yet. Well, it's never going to look perfect, but it's going to look better. Something like that, I suppose. And then something like you there. I want to kind of make it look a little bit more like that, I suppose. Needs to be more thicker. More thicker! There we go. Maybe get a bit of a split in the trunk like it has hit by lightning. Has some burnt logs. That's an interesting idea, Kevin. I like that, actually. It'd be kind of hard to represent. We'll get to that here later on. But that's a good idea. Somebody had suggested something like that a while back. I just never have gotten around to doing that. I think that doing that here would be a swell opportunity to having that detail somewhere on the plot. I like it. I like the idea of white leaves. I say go with the bright green color of leaves. With a bright green, yellow could look pretty. I don't want yellow. Yellow is a color I'm trying to avoid with this. That's too generic, I think, for an elven tree. Because we've already done that underground, which I guess would even bolster the idea that this should probably be elven, or what do you call it? Yellow leaves up here as well. But I think that we could probably come up with something a little more suitable for what to do here. I just say experience with different colors of leaves. Have you thought of making a shrine or burial tree or something? Some people have suggested doing that here, but like I've just said, I don't really know if we really want to go back to doing underground stuff, because you know me, if we do a shrine or burial thing, we're going to end up being underground for the next 10 streams. Is that what you want? Do you want me to go underground for the next 20 to 30 streams? I would presume that the vast majority of viewers here would much prefer me to not go down that path. I honestly would prefer not to go down that path myself. Well, no, it could just be a family grave or something. Yeah, a family grave for like 1,000 people, right? You know how big families get. Rabbit hole. What if you make a hole in the tree like a place an owl would live? Oh, man. You'll never finish this otherwise. Yeah, see, if I go and do something like that, I feel like we're going to start having some problems. I kind of have an idea for this. Alright. So I'm trying to block the view, and I kind of have this idea to have the roots growing through the wall there. So something like that. We need to perfect it a little bit more. Let it just be a normal tree. Hey there, Marsh. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Great to see you. We'll go ahead and do that there, and then we can do something like that, right, like that. I don't know. Something like that's fine, I suppose. I kind of like that, actually. You know, you got the long root coming out there. It would be cool, I think, to have something like this here. And then it kind of like wraps back down and around. So something like this. Well, maybe like this. And then back down. So that way you have like roots that are going all over the place. So like you have that little space there. Marsh, Haru, thank you for that follow and welcome to the Red Clan. Great to have you. That's a cool idea. Not sure if this is Lumiere once again completely revitalized crying. No, this is just my plan. The whole all along was for a Readout or some ruins over here in the corner. And this is pretty much still spot on to what I had planned. You know, we gotta detail it somehow, and so it's coming along. I'm still happy with it. I don't feel like I am really going off from the plan, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. Probably am wrong, but still, at the same time, I'm happy with how we're going here. And this gives us room up here for something, like maybe this could be like a place to sit around, like maybe there's like a moot up here or something. Like a place where they're having a meeting. Are you close to finishing Lumiere? Yes! Next episode there, Coco Fox. We're almost finished this episode. We finished all of this. All we gotta do is finish this all the way down to about there. I'm gonna say that's gonna be the separation right there. And we're gonna finish all of that right there, and then this episode is done. I'd say probably another 3 or 4 more streams, maybe 5 or 6, we'll see. 5 streams I'm gonna say, depending on if we get a weekend stream in. Like this weekend's already taken doing the community time lapse, depending on if I get a Sunday stream in. If I get a Sunday stream in, then there's a possibility for me to be able to finish this up more. I'm kind of lost right now. Like, oh, I'm building the tree. Okay. Ah, you're funny, Genova. I thought you were doing community builds still. I will be, yes. On Saturday, I'll be getting back to that. But I'd need to have time for my stuff as well. I need to finish this. Looks a little bit weird from the back, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like from the back, I suppose. Genova is being sarcastic, Marsh. Alright, so let's go ahead and try white leaves. Ah, it's so bright, though. It's so bright. So bright. You don't know. Let's just kind of throw this around a little bit. Let's see what we got. And maybe it's the shaders that I'm using. That's the reason why I don't like it right now. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. It's probably the shaders, to be completely fair. But let me try Conquest of the Sun. Yeah, just it doesn't fit in this area. I don't like that. I feel that what we have on the other tree, that those red leaves are good for just there, but they're not going to work for over here. See, we got these leaves as well. I just wish that they were the mushroom biome leaves. Blue leaves. See, I would love to have all these leaves, but we don't have biomes. Alright, let's just try this. Why not? Alright, so mushroom biome. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect. I'm gonna turn the replay off for now so I can experiment here. Alright, so let's do mushroom biome from okay, let's just do this. From there. Hey, Red Ranger, how you doing? I'm gonna say out to there. I don't like that. It's too much. To there, maybe. Alright, so set biome mushroom. Okay, what was it? What was that called? Set biome. Let's look up the biomes again. Alright, Minecraft biomes. Okay, let's find out what these biomes are. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Jungle, jungle. Oh, there we go. Mushroom biome. Okay. Mushroom island. Mushroom. Okay. Set. I think it's an underscore if I remember right. There we go. Now we're gonna save and quit. And we're gonna go back. See what that looks like. See, it didn't work. See, the grass changed, but it didn't work. This is exactly what I was talking about. The biomes are screwed up. Oak leaves. Let's try spruce leaves. I mean, it's a possibility. It's just this specific version of the biome. So let's try another one. To there. Let's try Mushroom Island Shore. Set biome. Mushroom Island Shore. Alright. No, the height doesn't matter. Biomes are column based, meaning that they go all the way up into the sky. So see this very slight change in grass? Like you see that right there? Watch this. Alright, so see that's going to be that color all the way up there. And that's going to be that color all the way up to there. Biomes are always column based from the very top of the world height to the very bottom. That's why biomes were so annoying to build with in 1.7.10 is because you try to get a texture for way up high, but it wouldn't work otherwise. Is there any other biomes that could work? I mean, maybe it's just bugged out. Like maybe it's another one. Let's try the end. Set biome the end. Alright. We still don't have any change. Maybe is there a possibility that the leaves just aren't? No, I mean there's no possibility for that. Let's try tool info. If they're the default leaves or the vanilla leaves, then I don't see why they wouldn't work. Yep, they're vanilla leaves, 18. So swamp biome. Oh, it just annoys me so much. Like why? Oh gosh. Okay, set biome. What was it? Swamp land. All right. I do think swampland is right, if I remember correctly. Yes, see, swampland works. See, look at that. That's exactly what we need, and it's not across the board though. See, swampland does work. We need Lendinus here, origins. We need origins here. But see, that's the only biome that I have known or found that actually has a working biome. Well, obviously ocean and such, but it's just not what we want, you know? We want mushroom. We want that fantasy kind of leaves. And it's crazy. Jungle, swampland. What about roofed forest? Is that gonna do us any good? Alright, set biome roofed forest. Let's get back to the game here. Hell biome. Alright, I'll try that next. Yeah, see, that doesn't... Well, obviously that wouldn't do anything. Alright, so let's try another one. The transition is really crazy there. Alright, so set biome hell. Don't want to place a bed in the hell biome. You guys want to see what happens if you place a bed in the hell biome? Watch this. Oh no, if you try to sleep in it, I think. Alright, we're far enough away from everything. Hey! That's great. I learned that the hard way on crying. Oh, man. Yeah, do not try to sleep in a bed in the hell biome. Oh, gosh. Alright, anyways. Let's try to bring this all back here. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. But yeah, lesson learned. Good thing that didn't happen in the actual build. Okay, so hell biome doesn't work either. Doesn't really give us anything interesting. But yeah. So, I mean, we're just going to have to go back to our original biome, but I don't remember what that is. Is it ocean? I think it's ocean. Let's go all the way over to here. Set biome ocean. I think that's the right biome, but I could be mistaken. That is not correct. Huh. What did I do for this biome here? What did I do for it? What did I do for it? Is there a way to do tool info? Does that give me the... No, it doesn't. Snowy. Snowy? No, that's not it. Does anybody have any ideas how to figure out what the original biome is? Let me go over to here. What was it? River, I think. Set biome river. Why didn't that work? Oh, it needs to be 2. Oh, yes, F3. Goodness, that's such an easy way. All right, what is this? Yeah, it is river. Sweet, okay. Or is it? Let's go over here. Yep, it is river biome. Okay, I was right. The water is very interesting looking, though. It would be cool if I could... biomes need to be fixed. Can somebody... okay, anyways, save and quit. There we go. All fixed. So, now we know that that all isn't going to work. So, let's figure out... Well, let's turn the replay mod back on now. And record single player is on. Why am I so bugged? There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go back to this. And Lumiere. No, I don't want to use those. See, this is the only option we got. If we want to use red leaves, we got to use that. And I don't like those leaves. I really despise that texture. I don't want to use that. We got these as well, which wouldn't be the worst. That wouldn't be the worst idea there. But still, I think there might be a better way to go about this. We do have that one holly leaf that's really dark. Coarse, mistletoe, rowan. Where is it? He was a while ago. He could throw snowballs at when he wanted the biome to be. Oh, I know all about those things. They're scallywags. It's just we don't have that on vanilla. And biomes don't work in Conquest Reforged. So there's just a multitude of issues that I have to work with. Horse chestnut willow. Where is it? Holly. Okay, holly. There is this as well, which is really dark, but I think we might be able, if we decide to do that, we could do it with a mix. But that kind of defeats the purpose of a special tree. So I suppose we're just going to go ahead and do this. Let's just go for these orange leaves like this. And then maybe we could even mix it in with these in certain areas. Like just a very few of those. Like hardly any. But just like in areas to make it look more colorful in a way. Just like say in like darker patches. Like maybe this leaf can only be underneath. And could be, you know how some people have highlights in their hair, so like they have like a blonde outside and then they have black hair underneath. That's kind of the idea I have with this, and it could work out really neat. I mean, it all depends on how we do it, but highlighting and shadowing might provide a really cool effect for this tree here. How do the bush blocks themselves work on trees? How do the bush blocks? What do you mean by that? Oh, what you're saying is how do the bushes look in the trees? That is an interesting point. What if you made a whole tree out of bushes? I haven't actually really thought of that. I mean, it looks really dorky, to be honest. Well, no, it doesn't look dorky. It doesn't look bad at all, actually. That would be really cool. And we got the new bushes coming up here soon. That's just gonna look. That's gonna be so cool. Like people making trees out of bushes. Wait, is this on the ruin? Yes, this is over the ruin. As you can see, this is the ruin down here. Let me turn the shaders on again. I find that, yeah, I mean, that just generally looks more exaggerated and pretty and all that stuff, so we'll just stay with worse for now. Worse. That texture is cut off. Texture is cut off. I don't know what you're saying, which texture there, Genova, by the way, you have more relations, I'm sure, with Monsterfish. Do you think you could, well, not better, I guess you talk to him more. Do you talk to him more? I just kind of suppose you would, but, I mean, if you do, could you ask him about the biomes and push him to push the Reforged team to get that in? I suppose I could just message. I've done it before, though. I have messaged them probably 3 or 4 times already, and they said, well, I thought the biomes were right, you know, we got it over exactly how Fish had it in the pack. I keep trying to say biomes are messed up, but nothing ever gets done. Well, no, I'm not saying that. I mean, things get done. It's just The biomes never get updated. Yeah. Maybe make the leaves on the underside a deep tree near the trunk, darker ones. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to use this leaf for now, this type of leaf for now. This is going to set our foundation, and then we're going to start adding in those darker leaves underneath. And like I said, the shadowing effect could be really cool depending on how we do it. You're also going to notice while I'm building this tree, I never do this. Don't do that, guys. Whenever you're building a tree, do not just spam leaves and make it a lollipop. That is a no-no. When you're doing a tree, you always want there to be those spaces everywhere, and you always want to build around branches. So look at the branches as the nexus of where all your concentrations of leaves are, and then spread out from there at the certain key points that you find to be the most aesthetically appropriate or naturally appropriate, and keep bushing it out, but don't make it thick. Even on trees that are supposed to be really thick trees, I just find that really spamming leaves always tends towards the lollipop tree design, which I think is not the best. Like, sometimes that's okay if you have one leaf on top of the other, as long as you well, no, not even this case that works. That doesn't work like that. I think that works, actually, something like that. See, it's okay to have the occasional, but if you have it rampant across, or overdone across your whole tree, it's going to really stand out. Oh yeah, okay. I've done that, Vasa. In fact, I am having a meeting with Origins over the weekend, so I guess if I remember, at least if I remember, because the last time he asked me to provide a list, and I didn't really feel like spending the time to go through every biome and then listing off every single color and stuff. It's not me. That's not what I do. I noticed issues, and I don't mind troubleshooting a few things, but if it takes me a certain amount of time to do it, it's pretty much not going to happen. I pretty much already am doing this with all of my free time already. And I understand. I mean, I'm not... Okay, don't take this entire thing as me downplaying the Reforged team. I'm not. Not in any way. I love what they do. I love the team. They're super hardworking. It's just the only... I'm just passionate about the biomes is because I've always hated biomes. And I would love to have all of those different biome leaves in the inventory. I mean, it's not that much. I mean, it's just like those, 7 colored leaves. That would be incredible. Like, just to have those colored leaves as blocks. In fact, can somebody please message someone in the Reforged team, like right now, or even on the Conquest Reforged Discord, and say, it's like what we're talking about. Like, can you add in the colored leaves, the mushroom biome leaves from the vanilla Conquest pack over to the mod as their own blocks? Like, that is what I want. Like, those leaves are just incredible. I love them, and I want them, because I typically tend towards a more fantasy style, and we only got the really realistic leaves to work with. And I'm sure a lot of you would actually really like to have those fantasy leaves as well. Oh, and they're Nartronic. I'm glad that you enjoy what I do. I really appreciate that, but there's a lot of builders out there that don't have the light shown upon them. And it's pretty crazy, but that's just how the way the world works. It'd be great, though, if we could get more Conquesters to produce videos. Like, there are... Like, I really want to see a realistic channel. Like, I mean, even if Roll made a channel, or Victor made a specifically Minecraft channel, or even you, Genova, or Jerpak, Red Ranger, you're tending more towards the realistic now. Just someone of that nature, like, made a channel on tutorials and tips and tricks on how to build realistic, like providing the whole research kind of technique that you go through with pictures and explanations. That would be phenomenal, I think. And actually building it and explaining the process. A lot of work, but it's something that our community really needs, because I tend more towards fantasy and just the artistic value. But a realistic value would be a really cool switch up, I think. In the YouTube space, at least. I mean, Conquest Reforged, or Conquest in general, is rampant with realistic builds. That's like the fad now. But it just would be good to have that translated over into the YouTube environment. Okay, that's fantastic, Neutronic. Thank you very much. I hope that we'll be able to see those leaves here soon. I really would like those. Oh yeah, see, this is already turning out kind of how I envision this. Like, just with this little bit of shadowing with this leaf, with this darker leaf color. Once I add in more of this, you guys are going to really start seeing what I mean here. And even from underneath the tree, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, this is going to look good, guys. I used to talk to owls. Well, I'm not gonna, you know, it's not like a crazy thing, but I grew up in the country, and it was like, what was it, fall evenings? I don't know when they usually, no, spring is when they usually are in mating season, and they hoot all the time. But anyways, there was an owl that we had on our property that, you know, lived in our pine forest. And it was the greatest thing, because it would go, you know, hoo, 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 hoo. And I'd do the same thing back. And then you would hear it get closer and closer and closer until, like, literally it seemed like it was, like, right in the tree above us. It was the greatest thing. Like, you know, it was actually thinking that it was a mating call or something. But, you know, you hear those stories of people that are hooting, and it turns out to be the neighbor or something like that. Yeah, that would be hilarious. But no, this was an actual owl, because it literally flew right into the tree above us. Okay. Let's put you there and you there. We got a little bit too much open space right here. I think we're going to go ahead and try to fill that in a little bit. So something like that, and like that. Alright, I think that's enough light coming through. I mean, what do you guys think? Are we thick enough, or do we need to add even more? I think what we could do is try to add a little bit more to this. For example, like, well, it was suggested to make a little split down the tree, which I think is a good idea. So something like this, maybe, where it kind of goes down like that. We're gonna have to use a lot of slabs and things, but I like this idea of having kind of a Pigland had suggested this earlier, to make a part of the tree that was struck by lightning. And it will create this kind of burnt, crispy kind of thing here. So I'm just trying to figure out this idea real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put a full block here. And one right there for now too. We don't want to make it too much. I think what we'll do is we'll do 2 inventories full of the different blocks so that we can make sure that we keep things... Well, let's just do this for now. This will help us figure out where exactly this is going to be. I think we'll do it down this way. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do that. That right there and there. Maybe another one of those right down here. Maybe right. Maybe like, yeah, that's fine. As long as we do this right, I think it's going to turn out pretty good. But that's the key phrasing right there, as long as we do it right. There's a whole lot of room to do it wrong. Okay. So we can throw that in right there. Do you guys like the music that we're listening to right now, or should I try to change it over? It seems like it's getting a little horror filmish. I don't know if that's really fitting to our stream. I think we're going to change it. We're going to go over to some Witcher, alright? I mean, it's still kind of hard, but at least this is more themed. And it would be nice to do something like this. Okay. I don't know how to make it look more like the wood's kind of split. The only way I can think of is using birch logs like that. But, I mean, it just looks a little bit weird. I already kind of like what we got here, but I do believe it needs a little bit more to it. Like a little bit of a transition like this, I think would be good. And I know exactly what you mean there, Skillywags. I know the split kind of thing, but you know, there's only so much we can represent in Minecraft. Even Conquest Reforged has its limits. Surprisingly enough, even Conquest has its limits. Maybe a little bit of pine logs mixed in there as well. So yeah, having this, like, these transition kind of things going on. Yeah, it's looking good, I think. It's not looking terrible. The Random Nose, thank you for that follow and welcome to the Red Clan. It's great to have you. Alright, and we'll go ahead and do something like that, I suppose. Maybe with a little bit of a... Yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that, I think. Not really necessary to go much more. And then there could be something here. Maybe a little pool of water is collected right here. I think that could be a neat little detail. Let's just put some mud there at the bottom. I mean, is there anything else that you guys think might be here? Honestly, I think having that is probably good enough. A little bit of water there. And then maybe there could be an altar here. Lily pads in the water, that's a good idea. Well, we can only put one lily pad in here. But still, one lily pad is all we need. Okay, what's the difference between lily pads and swamp lily pads? I like that better because it has a flower. And I also want to do that altar thing, this right here. I think that looks pretty neat. fireflies. I like that. I think it's a neat little thing there. I would like to try and make the logs a little bit more diverse. I think that this actually might be a huge difference here. Just by adding in some mossy logs would really make a difference. Not everywhere, just in certain areas that we feel like it would best complement our composition. Something like that right there. How long did you say you were streaming? Honestly, I'm streaming a little bit longer than I initially expected, but I don't think I'll be motivated enough to do anything after the stream. That's the only reason I would stop right now, is because I would go try to do something like I got a video I need to edit, but I'm not sure if I'll be motivated enough to do that. But for right now, we're still here streaming. I will definitely have to go in an hour, but at least for now, I'm still here. Shouldn't have done that. Whatever, just do that. You there, and then we just need to put in a little bit of mossy logs, just kind of strewn about in certain areas. Something like that, and put that there, there. There we go. That moss really tied it together. Yeah, it's starting to. It's a little bit repetitive right now. One thing I think might help that, I don't know if this is going to work. It's a little bit extreme. Too extreme. Maybe more of this type of wood might be good. Like if we have patches of this throughout the tree, like not huge patches, just a little bit here and there. I think that that would complement us a little bit. And like maybe just a little bit up here as well. So just literally those 2 blocks right there. Do you have a server with these builds? I do not know. But if you want to go see a server with fantastic builds, go on over to the Darwin Discord, and then you can figure out where to go from there. Oh yes, we are going to definitely be building or using some tall grass around this. I think that's too repetitive there. There we go. But yeah, a little bit more of this goat swallow log up the tree I think is a good idea. Just in certain areas. I think I'm just going to do the blocks to expedite the process a little bit. I don't want to be placing blocks. I don't want to be placing all the different layers that I've been placing. So just something like that. Yes, I like that a lot. I mean, it just adds a little bit of something. And that little bit of something, I think, is just what we needed. Put that there, and we still need to do all that, so maybe we could do a few layers of this here. Like that, possibly. And then we could put you right there, you right there. Beautiful. No, at least getting there. Okay, so we got all that there. Looks good enough. So our tree, it's a little bit extreme. Let's see here. There has to be some kind of bracken, orange bracken. This might do it for us, guys. That might add in just that little bit of contrast. Let's see if there's anything else. This bog stuff, no, it's too green. I don't know if there's any other plants that would work for what I'm trying to do here. We got that. The autumn reeds, maybe. No, it's just too dark. I think that this actually is the best option. But this, you know, it's not like the same color. It might work. It might add that just little hint of bushy color difference. You know, we got the foundation, and so this adds just a little bit more fluff to the tree. Makes it look a little bit more snazzy. Hopping on the Dar1 server now. Fantastic. Yeah, that's what I love to hear. I love to hear when people get the mod, they know exactly what to do, go right to the server, join the community, and be a part of something great. There's some great things coming up here on Darwin. I'm liking it. Just a few more blocks, place it around wherever we feel like it should go. There's no specific method to this, it's just kind of wherever we can. Let me see if I'm mixing any text for my wife. I am not, okay. I don't like not texting her back if she texts me. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Dar1 server. Just download this mod pack. You're number 1. Well, I guess I can sympathize with server superiority. But no, my mentality on that is, while I do think that Darwin is a great server, I don't like to. I don't like the contest in a community. I don't like, you know, me better than you mentality. That mentality, while can be sarcastic and in good fun sometimes, can lead to toxicity, which has happened in the past. And I think the best way to avoid that is by just not saying anything about it, I suppose, but just being careful about it, I suppose, is the best way to say it. Okay, so that tree looks a lot better now. Having just that bracket on top really makes a difference, I would say. I do like that. We do need to still finish underneath. I did have plans to add in a few of these underneath this tree. So we're going to go ahead and do that right quick. I just need to grab the few blocks that I need to make it sufficient. Never heard of it at all. Yeah, see, I've had plenty of experience with toxicity in this community. Well, in any community, really. I mean, it's just how it works. But I've experienced too much of that. I just don't. I don't have the energy to put up with it, or the energy to do anything about it, I suppose, is the way to say it. I just try to avoid it as much as I can. That's the best you can do. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Just, I mean, all it takes is being respecting people, and you respect the people around you, it'll eventually rub off on everybody else, hopefully. Being respectful, that is a thing that you don't see much these days. The tree only needs one face. I was actually just thinking that it'd be nice to have like a little face in the tree. That would be cool. Okay, I don't know if we really need to do anything. I guess some bushes there on the side, because again, we're on a plot environment, and it would be nice to try to keep the sides of the plot as... I guess I need to replace that. Replace 4. We do need to keep things as enclosed as we can. That's just the thing about building a plot, I would say. It's a thing about building a plot. So I'm trying to think of just some kind of bushy thing. I guess we'll just go back to these bushes again, as you know, this tends to be our generic bush variation across the whole build. So all you got to do is just place these in like this. It's just super easy to do. Something like that, and then we'll build that up there. Okay. We don't need to build it up too much more there, just something like that, I think. And then that kind of encloses the atmosphere, and you can kind of see that there's a way to walk off the plot there. And then we can have some kind of like canvassed thing here. Maybe we can use a dispenser. Yeah, we can use a dispenser right there, actually. Let's see. Terrible. Why does it always have to be the bad face? That's another thing I would like to have specific blocks of, is the faces. Because that's the only face that works now. Obviously that doesn't work. I mean, is there any other blocks that kind of looks like a face? Not that I know of, at least. We do have these. We have that. We also have these runic blocks, which I'm not quite certain really works for what we want to do there. But yeah, we don't have really anything else that I know of. I guess we could just do engravings. I don't know, I kind of am leaning towards that runic kind of thing. It looks old, and it looks like it should be there, so I'm gonna say that right there looks good enough. Why does that look like dirt? Is that supposed to look like it's an open cauldron or something? Okay, so I'm inspired to do this now. So my envision for this is doing something like this on the sides. I suppose we don't have a middle section here. You know, it doesn't actually have to be this big. We could just use the smaller beams. Okay, there we go. Beams. Oh my gosh. Beams. Thank you very much. Spruce beam, small pillar. That'll do. Could just be something like that. No reason for something super fancy. And then we need some kind of canvas. Something to tarp or drape over this whole thing. And usually what I would do is just use... I usually just use this, not the clean, the white plaster, I think this is the one. Yeah, we'll just use this for now. And then we can just kind of like toss it up over like that. And then it can come back down. You know, obviously that's like really generic right there. I think what actually might look a little bit better. Well, see, the thing is I'm trying to make it look a little bit more well-kempt. Like, I'm trying to make it look like it's not all disheveled. Because disheveled would mean it's just kind of like all lumpy and all over the place and rather just kind of, you know, whatever. But since this is a fairly significant night, I don't think it makes sense to go full crazy with making his tent all, well, you know, not like that. Beams. Alright, so I want to do some cross beams in here. Oh, fortunately that does work. Oh, kind of, it works. Maybe a thatch roof. No, 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 not a thatch roof. It's just going to be this. But I do like the idea of making a little bit more bulged. Possibly. And obviously there's going to be variation in it. It's not going to be like this. Like I would imagine this one would probably be up to there. Meaning that these would probably be more like that. And that one like that. Or maybe like this, possibly. You know, there would be variation. We could even like continue that all the way along, so it could be like that there with that on top of there. Well, I guess we can't do that, but that there, and then come across to here and do that. But there definitely needs to be variation, don't get me wrong. That is an absolute must on this, but we're gonna get there. Variation comes in time. And I imagine there'd probably be flaps up along the edges as well that they could just kind of pull down. The nose, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. By the way, I feel like that was quite a bit delayed. I'm sorry. I apologize. Alright, something like that right there. I don't know. Maybe we could go for something like that. And then tilt you back like so. That's not too bad. But yeah, it definitely needs an edge. And usually I think of edges as something like this, maybe. Which looks horribly horrible. But it gives us a baseline, you know? I mean, it's something that's leading us to a result here. We just got to keep following this idea, and then maybe this will lead us to what it's going to actually be. Because, I mean, this isn't a bad idea, doing something like that. But maybe we could, instead of just using these base blocks, maybe we could use an actual... And my cat just spilled my water all over me. Thanks, cat. You're the best. Let's see if tissues will clean this up. Oh, great. It's all over my mouse pad. All over my mouse. It's wonderful having a cat, guys. That's why I have... Dogs aren't any better there, buddy. Oh, man. There goes all my tissues. You are a brat. Fortunately, that didn't go on my keyboard or anything. That, here, have some water. He's sniffing the water down on the ground. Alright. Well, at least I can work with that. I think. Ah. Goodness. The things I put up with. Alright, so we'll keep doing this here. But okay, the thing that I'm thinking of is we need to go grab some Knights banners. Maybe we can make it this night right here. Nelly boy, thank you for that following. Welcome to the Red Clan. Great to have you. I want something that has kind of a... This one right here, actually. Purple and yellow. I don't think we have the purple and yellow knight anywhere yet. And I think that it might suit this area. Maybe. I know it looks really weird right now, but if we change all of the colors of this tarp to red or purple and yellow, that might work. Nah, it's 2 stripes. Never mind. Let's go back over here and give this another try. Maybe something more of a turquoise. Because what we need is a solid pattern. We don't want to have a... Like this right here, maybe. Use mason jars. Can't knock those over. Gonna have to have cat-proof everything. This could be a possibility. I think that could be a possibility. Definitely needs improvements for sure. Is there any way for us to find some kind of block that would transist right there? Maybe a beam, possibly. Would a beam work here? No, that's not going to work. Heading off for now. If you can talk later, we can always wait until Arcanius can talk. Alright there, Ragnar. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you next time. And yeah, I'll definitely try getting back to you here as soon as I can. I don't know, man. I'm streaming pretty late tonight, though, so I'm not sure if I'll be up to further talking after this. But yeah, I hope to see you again soon, man. Okay, so we have 3 stripes. Doesn't necessarily we need to do 3 stripes, but it does give us the ability to do something pretty neat. All right, so then we got orange as well. So let's do the same thing over here. Let's do that, that, and then 3 of those across like so. All right. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. And then up here, we could do something along the lines of a stuttering pattern. So something like this, maybe. And then back over there. And then we can just go ahead and do that like that. So yeah, stuttering pattern. And then we need something yellow, and that's the hard part because we don't have anything yellow. The only yellow thing we have is this right here, which isn't totally a bad thing to use, but yeah, that's really the only option we got. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that right there instead. So we keep that transition going, you know? But yeah, that's the yellowest thing we got. So yeah, if we change all of the colors of the tent to match all of that, I think we're going to be okay. So then if we do one little stripe of blue down this way, so something like that, and then something like this right there, and then we continue to kind of checker it. So like that, 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 and that. Yeah, got it the right way here. Here and there. There and there. Okay, and then all we gotta do is use these blocks like this. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Just gonna have to replace all those banners, which isn't a huge deal. I don't mind doing that. Okay, so there we go. We got a colorful tent now, which I think is good. Again, Lumiere is all about color. Maybe you can put the blue on one side, the orange on the other side, and the yellow in the middle. I think it's okay to make it more fluffy like this. I don't think there's any issue with that. Another thing we could do to make it look a little more festive is having some flags hanging around in certain areas just to make it look a little more like there's stuff going on. They just kind of hung it in certain areas. Well, I think that's fine. Maybe this knight chose this place because it descends from the elves. Ah, yeah, that could be a possibility. I also think that there should be railings here. So we'll just go ahead and do this along like so. Just like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go here pretty soon, guys. I got a little while longer that I can stream. But I honestly, I just really like how this is turning out. Like, it's just looking very regal, which is, again, like a huge thing about this whole build, is making this place just look regal and nice. And just very, yeah, well, very nice. There we go. And then there's plenty of room in here to place a bed and all kinds of other things. So we'll go ahead and place a kind of a cot-like bed somewhere. I feel like he would probably want to be kind of sheltered. And if only we could just place a bed there, it would be great. Well, he wouldn't want to be sleeping right there. Maybe there's some kind of canvas, some kind of partition in the tent. Well, obviously it's not. See, the thing about this is like it's open on both sides, so there's really no partitions. But obviously, see, this is supposed to represent like the cloth is kind of rolled up in a way, like kind of floofed up so that they can see out. So you can imagine this tent, you know, when it's down, is completely covered all the way around. But this just adds a nice little, some neat little things here, I think. And then there could be some seats around here. I'm trying to think of other details we could add in here. There we go. Just a few more things like that, and I think we'll be golden. I think maybe if we do this, we'll be alright. It makes it a little bit thicker, but at least it connects to those beams. Well, maybe instead of those, we could use something more fancy. Since this is a much fancier type of tent, we could probably use these, maybe. Or even a lighter one. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards a lighter. And maybe even lighter fence posts. So maybe these? We obviously don't have that. So we need the pillars. Oh, please. No, come on. Okay, we need something pillory. This one? Yes, it does. Alright, so a lighter design, and then we can use oak beams instead. So we need the, or no, not the oak, the birch beams. So something like that, I think, would work. Curtains. So you're saying curtains on the sides? Oh, you're saying for the partition. That's a possibility. I'll give it a try here soon. I just need to find one more thing in here to make this work. I need fence pieces that look like they work for this. I need like something light, but a little bit more on the ornate side. Like even that's not terrible. We need something thicker on the bottom, so maybe this. That's not the worst thing. It kind of has a good look to it, I think. And then it contrasts with this birch piece here. Has a neat contrast, at least. I kind of like that. And then we can do that across again, like so. No, that gives us some room for details back there. We still need to figure out the bed, though. That's taking us a little bit of time. I just want it to be a normal cot, I think. But we gotta use World Edit for this daggone thing. So we just go ahead and do that. And we'll do that. Use you, put you there. And put you there. So he's like a much more open knight. Like, you know, in Dorne, they're just kind of more of an open kind of culture. Much more, you know, open to everything. So that's kind of how I envision this area. We need, obviously, a cart. So I think what we'll do is there will be a nice wagon down here to represent, like, where all this stuff is carried from. Like, this wooden platform wouldn't have been carried, but I'm sure there's going to be some representation of all these different things that they have. There needs to be something around this that looks like something a little bit fancier around this fireplace. Like, I was thinking reticulated. Does this have any carpet textures to it? It only has that. I wonder, would you guys be adverse to me doing this just around the fire pit? It might look a little bit weird on underneath, but at least from up here, it has a neat little look, like a carpet almost. And it's not really meant to be viewed from underneath, and it doesn't really matter. But I think that just adds something neat there. And then, of course, there could be some more, maybe like a table somewhere. So I would say a table like right there. And then some kind of chair next to it. Doesn't have to be a super fancy chair. I mean, it could even be a stool for all I care. We have 2 spruce chairs. Interesting. And then there could be some kind of writing utensil, because maybe he's an author. Kind of imagine a guy like this would be an author. Let's actually move this over one more. So something like that. Put his chair right there. That gives us the ability to go ahead and place a mug here on the side, or maybe 2 tankards. Okay, that doesn't work, and that doesn't work. I thought the tankards were supposed to work. Oh, I think I know why. There we go. I still need to get this to work. If I remember correctly, the tankard's supposed to fit on there. Maybe it's just because of the random block variation. Somewhere for him to poop. Yeah, we can do that. And that just glitches. Yeah, I don't like the glitch with that. I wonder if this would glitch, though. It doesn't glitch too bad. It makes it look like more like a piece of furniture. I mean, there's just that little bit of glitching there on the side. But that's bearable, I would say. And then there should be something on top of this. Maybe he has a flower pot with some of his favorite flowers in there. Like, I kind of imagine this night as more of an Eastern night. Wouldn't you guys agree? Come on. Yeah, I just kind of see this more Eastern. More of like a... Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. So maybe instead of having a table and things, or maybe instead of having a chair, he should have more of like a thing like this. And then with railings around. All right. No. Just give me a second here, guys. I'm coming up with a design. There we go. That's what I want. So I kind of think of something like that, maybe. For him to sit at, you know, well, instead of sitting at, he would just kind of like lay there, kind of on his side. And so instead of this bed, well, the bed's not too bad. And then there would need to be something Eastern over on the other side of this table. Any ideas what something Eastern can be? A telescope. He's a very learned knight. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. And get those, get that book back there. We need a chest. Go ahead and place his chest right about there, I think. I like this. And then we need a place for his squire. Maybe he has 2 squires. I can kind of see that. So maybe he has 2 squires traveling with him. But maybe they sleep somewhere else. Like, I would imagine probably the squires would maybe sleep up here. Maybe. Or maybe not even up there. Maybe more like down in this, right down here. I'm just kidding. I don't know. The squires would be somewhere else, I would imagine. Yeah, I would definitely say the squires would be somewhere else. But there could be like a couple stools around his fireplace for people to kind of like commune with him and such. And maybe a couple things for some food. A wine bottle. Let's put another table over here. Put a wine bottle on top. I feel like there should be something over here on this wall that I'm looking at. Some kind of furniture, but with those 2 things on either side. It feels way too permanent. Whatever we put here needs to look like it's pretty easily moved. Well, that's not terrible. And then we can just put some random things on here, like maybe a candle right there. Makes sense to have it right there by the window. And then some other type of, well, maybe not an open candle, maybe something like that instead. I like that better. And it is right next to the fire, I do realize that. And something else, maybe an urn full of wine. An amphora full of wine. Is there any other things that you guys would typically think would be in an Eastern culture that could fit in here? Let's put that right there and put a bag right there. Maybe underneath put bushes and stuff, make it look overgrown. I don't know about bushes, but we could do a little bit of bracken, I think. A little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of bracken around. I think that would be pretty cool. Doesn't need to be too overgrown looking. And then we got that there. That's really annoying, but that's what it is. And we could, of course, make it look a little bit more bushy here. So I was thinking a hawthorn bush right here. And then we could use some type of really bushy plant. So green bracken right there. Because we do want to try to hide that down there. We don't want it to be just absolutely a sword and armor. Oh yes, an armor stand. That's definitely needed. Alrighty, so an armor stand. Now he would need to have some kind of armor that's suitable. So maybe his helmet somewhere else, like in a chest. Maybe he just has his golden armor and golden leggings. I still need to find the armor stand. Alright, we'll just go ahead and do E, enter armor stand right there. And then this is where his armor will be right there. And then it would make sense for, this is a time where I will cheat and actually use an item frame. I need an Eastern looking sword. I guess this looks like an Eastern sword. Right there above his bed. Hey, Dr. Potato. No, not late. We're just having fun. Yeah, well, I guess he kind of missed a little bit. We've done the ruins here. Been adding to it. We made another knight's camp here. We haven't finished this area yet, so there's still a lot yet to do. But we got a lot done here tonight. I think a little bit of sweet grass right there would be nice. Maybe just little bits kind of strewn about. But yeah, welcome to the stream. And you walk up this way and up and around. And yeah, I do like the idea of maybe having the squires up here. Sleeping right there would be a pretty cool idea, I think. But I really like this here. I mean, that just really suits. It's just all just this overgrown space, and I do want to add more of these flags around, though, but I don't know where. I feel like right here would be a cool spot, but there's really nowhere to do that. I mean, that's too low. It's 3 a.m., goodness gracious. Like, what other indications could I put around, guys? Any ideas? The horse would be probably kept in here. Or maybe not in there. I don't know where the horse would be kept. Probably around back. I really don't know. Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking about doing, is putting a little campfire here. I think what we're going to do, guys, is finish this little campfire spot here. Or this little camp area. And then I'll be done streaming for tonight. But we'll be back again sometime later. Throughout the week sometime. And get some more building in. I'm going to do some wicker seats around instead of the stools. So he has 2 squires. Maybe he has just an extra seat for somebody whoever might come and join them, I suppose. We do need to have more of that muddy dirt in here. like all of that needs to be muddy dirt there. There we go. Alright, so we do need to place some things around to indicate that there's cooking going on here. Well, it doesn't always have to be cooking. It can just be kind of like a fire. Just being around a fire. So maybe some bread there. A couple goblets somewhere. I guess right there would be a good place for the goblets. I guess some logs maybe? Not logs, but firewood. Somewhere kind of back away from the camp a little bit. Alrighty. I'm liking the look of this. You know, the generic bucket. What are the details? Random pot. Put that somewhere. Or a pot of water. Pot of water somewhere. Like right there, maybe. M4 right there. Plate of food somewhere. Like right there. And then maybe another one on top of a table. So I would say probably this. Put that right there and put a plate of food on top. And then we can do some tall grass. Maybe some cypress in here. I don't like that there. That there either. Why don't we just do some mistletoe here? So something like that. And then some kind of plant on top. Would bracken? Maybe rushes would work better for this. Yeah, rushes work better for this type of plant there. We also need some more lily pads. So something like that. What about some small smithy tools and such? I don't know about smithy tools. I don't know if that's necessary. Could have a fire, an axe kind of thrown in the wood there. A shovel kind of on top of something. Maybe a shovel right. Yeah, put a shovel right there for something. Yeah, a little campsite up here I think is pretty cool. We do need to cover this area right here. I don't like being able to see off the plot there. It just really kind of takes me out of the zone. And I don't like being taken out of the zone. That is not acceptable. So we'll just keep doing this mistletoe kind of thing around. And then we need some tall grass. There, right there. Few layers around. Okay, any more ideas? You can change the biome of that puddle into the swamp to make it greener. Ah, that's interesting. Well, I am using Wreaths right now, so just really, generally the water sucks in Wreaths. But yeah, I do agree with you. You could change the whatever that's called. I'm just trying to throw some rocks around to try to finish up some detail. Some kind of, maybe bracken underneath there. Maybe, no, wild overgrown nettles. That's good. I've always liked that block. Hey, Alexander. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you, man. Okay. That's looking pretty legit. And that's not looking too bad. But I don't know. I feel like it's just your generic camping area, which isn't at all terrible, I suppose. I've seen worse. I mean, is there anything else that you guys might suggest to put in this thing, or are we good to go, you think? I wonder if this would be nice, having like a little bit of a railing. Like you'd only need one side railing, just a side that you would mainly be walking up there. Maybe we could do this. Kind of bump the wall out there like that. No, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind. Just put that right there, I suppose. Maybe do the same thing with that right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Little bit of structural variation. I can't really think of anything else to do in the tree. I mean, we could do the typical natural details, but I just feel like that's just a little bit generic again. I mean, everything about this campsite is generic. There's nothing interesting about it. Like, I don't see anything like that really stands out to me to being something unique and just inspiring and whatever. At least it's done. Okay, so we got a colorful knight's tent. Mission accomplished with that. And I think it works. Now we have another knight on the plot, which is exactly what we wanted. So, I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream there, guys. I had a great time tonight. Got a lot done. I suppose, I mean, if you guys want to do a quick little walkthrough of Lumiere, we could do that if you want. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for an answer, I'll go ahead and check if there's anyone we can go host. No, nobody's streaming Conquest right now. At least not that I'm following. Does anybody know if there's any Conquest streamers out there right now that are streaming who we can go host when we leave here? I don't see anybody, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, Lumiere, guys. Let's get a better shader going here. TME, oh, Zeus. Good old Zeus. See, yeah, Zeus looks great. That tree over there looks great in Zeus, I think. I mean, that is just... It's gonna really fill it in. Like, once we finish all the detail over here and everything, that special type of leaf up there just really works, I think. I love it. But yeah, we got all the houses and everything, all the details. I'm gonna eventually have to come back through and finish all this creek. That's gonna take a while. But all in good time. Try your edits. Alright, send it to me there, Zeus. Or serving. Goodness. Are you gonna send it over? For the waters. I'm still waiting for your edit. I don't see it. I mean, I've tried it. Wait, did I try it? Serving. Let's go down. Where are you? Serving. Okay. No, I haven't gotten anything from you. But yeah. I mean, I guess this really isn't anything you haven't seen of all. Okay. I mean, this is what we got. But we get terrible FPS with it. I think I'm getting 45 FPS right now. But this is Lumiere. Lumiere at its current state. What I like most about it, one thing that I've really liked about this build is the clarity of roads and paths. So I'm just trying to climb up here real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But like, you see exactly where all the roads are going and everything. That's what I like a lot about this build. It's very, very clear. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm pretty exhausted. The night has come to an end. You all have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, whichever one you guys are more interested in following. Facebook and YouTube. But yeah, don't forget to check me, guys, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Till then, bye-bye.